They can't hear a word.
Who cares anyway?
Welcome
to the TWG podcast. My name's Paul Davidson.
And my name is Scott Norman.
It's homecoming week.
And I am echoing like crazy.
And since strange wet substances plummeted from the sky and our homecoming festivities have been forced inside, Porterville High School has asked its #1 podcast to put it on its first ever live show.
It's
All right, so Mr. Norman, please let us know how we're going to do this.
All right, so just first off, I'd like to point out that we are the #1 podcast from Porterville High School, narrowly beating out Miss Brands' diehard Chiefs fan podcast. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but our viewership is better. So, secondly, we are going to be interviewing teachers. That was the initial thing. We have a few teachers who have made the terrible mistake of wandering in so that they can be interviewed. And we actually do have a question for Mr. Cooley as well.
Yes, we do have a question for Mr. Cooley.
We'll get to that. We'll get to your question. So we are going to start off and dig right into the suggestion box because we have a list here that we will get to in a moment. But we have suggestions. For those of you who aren't actually listeners to the podcast and just didn't want to be in there, thanks for coming. But also, we have this thing, and you guys suggest things that we should answer or talk about. And so we dig into this box usually once every month or so and just see what there is. So we have all of this here. You can hear. There you go. We can hear all of this stuff. And we are going to start off with a question for Mr. Hendrix. Actually, a question for Mr. Hendrix. Come on down, Hendrix. Come on.
As he's on his way over, we're going to ask Mr. Angotti to do the wobble, drop it like it's hot, so you can all look to the right. Keep in mind, this is a this is a audio medium.
So look at Angotti. That is amazing. Wow. Good job. Great dance, Angotti.
That is amazing. Give Mr. Angotti a round of applause.
All right, so Mr. Matt, slide on down here. And you can hear him as he slides down our whatever this is, bench. Your question, sir, is, quote, Mr. Hendrix, what about GTA 6?
I've been hearing really positive things about it. It sounds like when it comes out, it's going to be a pretty big deal. I really like the graphics that I've seen here lately. I really like the idea of stealing some new cars, you know?
Okay, all right, sounds good. Grand Theft Auto. We also have P.S. I also ate some of your Fred's peanuts.
Donovan, you get an F.
All right. So you apparently know who the culprit is?
Yeah.
Thank you. Do we have further questions?
I have an additional GTA question. If you've ever played GTA, you have like different radio stations you can rock. Mr. Hendrix, if you have played GTA in the past, what was the radio station you would always turn to?
I don't know what it's called, but I like some 70s funk when I'm committing crime. Gets me in the mood.
When you're doing crime?
Yeah. 70s funk.
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you. By the way, for those of you who are not present in the room, the loud crashing was not thunder. It was a student tumbling across the back of the room. Thank you for that.
Good job.
Good job. All right.
We do have additional questions for Mr. Hendrix.
You're not done yet.
Yeah, we might as well just go ahead and go through the Mr. Hendrix questions. All right, so our original plan was a variety of teachers to be interviewing. You were the first one we asked, and so what we're asking for you is, it's fine. What we're asking you is, since it is homecoming, what is the best slow jam to dance to at a homecoming dance?
Well, that's kind of a hard question. I obviously like a lot of different music. But I would go with, and no one would ever see this one coming, Garth Brooks' Low Places.
Really?
Like, I've got friends in low places?
Yes.
Really not the dance?
Huh?
Not the dance by Garth Brooks?
No. The song.
So,
Low Places.
Low Places. So he hates Trisha Underwood, everybody. Boo this man for hating Trisha Underwood. All right. But on the flip side of things, do you have a fast jam for us?
That'd have to be Get Low.
Get Low?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think we can play more than 3 words in that song.
To the window,
But
and
yes,
that's about
yes.
it.
And
But
get
yes,
low.
I enjoy that song.
All right, we will stray away from this conversation and on to the next one.
There's one more question that I know is in the suggestion box that is for you. Can you find it, Mr. Norman?
Probably not.
We know it by heart by
Okay,
now.
go ahead and ask him.
So the question is, why are you a Michigan football fan?
Found it.
Oh,
Yes! I got
here.
that one.
I was born in Michigan.
Oh,
I was born in Michigan, in Flint, Michigan, of all places. So yes, and then I grew up in Cincinnati. And this was back when we used to beat Ohio State. It's been a hot minute since that happened.
Back in the day.
But back
Before
yeah.
you guys were born.
Yeah. But yes, so I was born in Michigan, so.
so is that the reason why our first down music is now Go Big Blue?
That has more to do with the fact that it's an easy song and the quality of our band over the years.
Man. Bringing the truth.
Talk about your audiences.
All right.
All right, so
We actually have no further suggestion box questions, but towards the end, if we end up having time, we may allow open questions, at which point we might call you back to the mic. Thank you very much, Hendrix, everybody. All right.
our next suggestion.
Our next suggestion.
Can you do the McDab for us? No, we cannot, because the McDab, I'm assuming, is us doing a dab while Mr. Norman eats a McDouble. And, of course, we don't have any McDonald's, so no McDab.
Sorry.
I'm very sorry.
We can dab, but no Mick. My bad. All right, next up, we will dig through the suggestion box, and we have, very folded, speak German for the rest of the episode. Nein. Ich nicht spreche gut. All right. See, exactly. You have no idea what I just said. All right, next suggestion.
Our next suggestion, there we go. Dear Mr. Norman, what was your favorite time in Germany?
Why are these all Germany related?
They love the motherland.
Yes. So my favorite time in Germany was probably noon because the sun was always. Oh, not okay. You mean like favorite thing I did? Okay. So I can't say your name because we're on a podcast, but I'm glaring at you. All right. So I would say that my favorite time in Germany was camping with the Boy Scouts in the Alps. And there was a moment at which about 10,000 Boy Scouts descended on a town of several hundred, and so it was an international like scout camp thing, and everybody came together, and we made the horrible mistake of not accounting for the fact that their sewage system was only made to handle several hundred people. So we literally had sewage overflowing up from the sewers into the streets of the town. You're welcome, random town. Oh wait, I guess I asked the. All right, so this is for both of us.
Okay.
What made you start wanting to podcast? This is your fault.
It is my fault. I had a homework assignment that asked me to do a multimedia project for my college class that I'm taking.
We do homework too, FYI.
Yes, we do homework too. And as a result, I said, hey, I'll just try a podcast because I've been doing the radio for the football team for about 10 years now. And I was like, hey, that could be pretty easy. And I ended up sharing Mr. Norman the podcast episode we recorded, and a couple of industrious seniors last year discovered it, and here we are now.
Famous.
Woo. So that's kind of how it started. Mr. Norman, do you have another reason why you started podcasting?
I liked it. Thank you. Thank you. That is only partially true. I do have a wife and son, but I mean, I just have such a beautiful voice, you know, so what can I say? All right. Next.
Are you guys best friends? No, we're not, surprisingly.
Nope.
Yeah,
We hate each other.
never hang out outside of school. We only talk to one another when we're, right here, right now, doing this.
That's all. That is it.
That's serious.
No open mics. No open mics. All right, not yet. All right, this is a very artsy one. I'm impressed with the overall just writing on this. Do you believe in aliens? And then we have a small alien. Do I believe in aliens? Yeah, actually, I lived as an alien for an extended period of time. Now, there actually is huge controversy right now about illegal aliens. I mean, there's aliens all over the place. So I was an alien in Germany personally, but you know.
By the way, here everybody is.
There's the artwork.
Artwork. I did take a picture, and I will try to upload it to the video. And I do not believe he was talking about those kind of Indians, or not Indians. Those kind of aliens, Mr. Norman, because I believe they were talking about the green and pointy-eared kind that we famously did not find while we were raiding Area 51. So, yes, I do believe in aliens. There's a possibility of them being out there. The universe is a very, 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 very big place.
Oh, I was hoping you'd keep going. All right,
it's my turn.
your question.
Because we haven't thought of mine for them yet. How did you name your child?
Not with that spelling, I didn't. All right, I named my child by coming up with a name and saying that is his name. No, okay, for real. The backstory there is my wife and I were looking through several names, and we settled on a handful of things. And one of them was Elliot, and we started looking at that, and then she worked labor and delivery, and she delivered several girls named Elliot. And we went, oh, maybe not. So we moved on and picked Elias, which is his name, which means Yahweh saves. And
sorry, there's a lot of paper.
So that's how we got his name. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. All right, so next question. What are you having for dinner, Davidson?
I don't know. If you're from the South, dinner means lunch, and I ended up having a pork steak for lunch. But for
could you do your Southern accent again?
My Southern accent. Well, actually, if you really want to hear my Southern accent, I'll pretend like I'm my dearly departed grandmother, and this is usually one of the character voices that you'll hear throughout my readings of the stories we have in class.
Wait, have you guys heard him do that voice before? Oh, that's great.
It's a yes and a no, apparently.
Yeah, there's...
What was the question? Oh, what am I having for dinner?
What are you having for dinner?
I'll probably end up just having something from the concession stand. That is what I'll be having for dinner.
Go team. All right. It's your turn to ask a question, actually.
You didn't tell us what you're having for dinner.
Oh, sorry. What am I having for dinner? Food of some sort. I genuinely have not thought about it, and I probably should, because I'm staying here for homecoming. I don't know.
McDonald's, so you can do the McDab.
Oh, that's true. I could do the McDab if I get McDonald's. But my experience with McDonald's here is I order one thing and they give me nothing, so...
Oh, shots fired.
I'm sorry. I apologize if you work at McDonald's. My bad.
All right. Our next question actually has our next teacher guest that is currently within the gym, Mr. Jamie Massey. Come on down. Yes, it's a perfect question for him.
We will attempt to clear out I'll back up.
While we do that, Mr. Norman, you have another question that you're going to read.
This question actually I'm going to pause on.
No, you're reading it right now.
I'm reading it right now.
Yes.
You guys have a dance battle.
You're on.
All right. That's it.
You're on. At the end of the podcast, you're going down.
I'm ready to dance right now.
Okay.
All right, so...
Hold off for the dance battle.
Yes, at the end, we'll be dancing it off, and Mr. Davidson will win. All right, Mr. Massey, come on in. Join us. Welcome to the podcast for one.
Well, thank you.
All right, so the question that we pulled from the suggestion box was, do you think the boys basketball team going to be good this year? High school specifically, and you're an assistant coach on the high school. So, Mr. Massey, what do you think?
Okay, well, I think a lot of things depends on, there's a thing, first time guest, so I'm struggling here. Okay, you can depend on a couple of things. It can depend on who we have healthy, which injuries occur during basketball. You never know what's going to happen, but it depends on that. But if everything goes according to plan, I think we could be very good. I think we could compete for a district title just like we did last year. And hopefully that comes true.
All right. So, originally we were going to interview Coach Irby, but he's in the other gym right now. So we're going to actually ask you every single one of Coach Irby's questions that we had in a basketball NBA lightning round.
Okay.
All right, so we have a bunch of questions. Sorry, podcast listeners, I know we have in the background. But we have a bunch of questions. We need you to answer just right off the bat.
Okay.
And go, Kobe or Jordan?
Jordan.
We have Giannis or Kawhi?
Kawhi Leonard.
Really?
Yes. The claw.
All right, all right. I don't know.
How did that one get in there?
I don't know. We'll put that for later. All right. Next up. What is next for the Lakers? How good did the Lakers do this year?
I think at least Western Conference Finals, if not an NBA championship.
What?
Yes.
What? Okay.
Yes.
What?
I don't even know what this is. Have ever listened to Blueface?
I mean, I have not listened to Blueface. I've heard of him, and I do not like him.
How do you feel about that, guys?
So, I'm assuming this isn't me. I thought that it was me that we were referring to. Okay. Then last but certainly not least, is Zion going to be a superstar?
I think he will be. He has the appeal. He has the superstar, look. And I think he's going to dunk all over the league this year. So I think he's going to be a superstar.
And he's almost as tall as you are.
And he's way younger than me, too.
All right. We do have one last question.
Okay.
We do have one last question for Mr. Massey. It was originally the question we were going to ask you during our teacher car wash, real quick, get everybody through it. Okay. Mr. Massey, what was your favorite high school memory, homecoming memory from high school?
Okay, let me think about this. I can think about this in a couple different ways. So, because I played basketball.
Y'all didn't have football, were you?
No, we had no football team whatsoever. Holcomb will probably never have a football team. But we did have a basketball homecoming. And my favorite memory from the sports side of it was my senior year, we were scheduled to play Scott County Central. And at Holcomb, we never played Scott County Central. And the day before, which we played on a Friday night, it got snowed out. So we actually had to play the game on a Saturday afternoon, which was just the weirdest thing because it's hard to get ready for a basketball game and it be in the afternoon times on a Saturday right before a dance whenever you're wanting to go to the dance, but you have to take care of the game first. And we actually ended up beating them. And for Holcomb to beat Scott County Central,
even back then, that was really impressive.
It was an accomplishment. But my actual favorite homecoming memory was at Holcomb. We did this thing where we decorated shopping carts and had like a little skit, kind of like how we do the trailers here at Portersville. And our class was always very big into it. And we tried to win, and we did win every year, actually. We're kind of bragging on ourselves, but still. Our sophomore year, and I'll take credit for this because it was my idea, because if you know me, I love wrestling. And our skit was,
trust me, we're going to have an entire podcast later on this year that's just Mr. Massey talking about wrestling. So if you want that, tune back in.
It'll be a lesson for most of you. And anyways, our theme that year was wrestling. So each of us that was like a basketball player or just wanted to participate in our class, we were a different wrestler. And we had Hulk Hogan, we had Rey Mysterio, we had Triple H, Randy Orton, and then I was The Undertaker. So, if you know me, you know I'm tall. Okay, The Undertaker, I'm just
Wait a minute, stand up.
Okay, let me get out of here.
Oh, he really is tall. Whoa. Wow.
We can let you continue.
Okay. No, that's fine. And anyways, The Undertaker's very tall, taller than me even. And we all dressed up, and I had my outfit, which, The Undertaker wears all black. He wears a trench coat and a hat, and he has long hair. So I had to make a wig out of, I don't even know what it was out of, but a long hair wig, and I had the hat. And so we each had matches against different mascots that were in our, conference. And we were playing, I think the Hayti Indians that year, I believe. So the main, I guess, boss at the end was the Hayti Indians. So we each competed against a different mascot, and every wrestler would hit their finishing move on the opposing mascot. So we had a fake ring put in the middle of the gym, and we had a mat. And I just remember, okay, Hulk Hogan did a leg drop, Rey Mysterio did a drop kick, Triple H hit a pedigree, and I remember, this is one of my friends, took the pedigree right on his neck. And I was just sitting there thinking, how in the world did he survive that? Because that looked worse than it did on TV even. And the thing with me was, I was the Undertaker, and the Undertaker has this slow, long, methodical walk to the ring, to the gongs of his song. And whenever his music hits, or stops rather, he takes his hat off and he rolls his eyes in the back of his head and he goes, and he sticks his tongue out real far. So, you know, he lives the gimmick. And then I get to choke slam my buddy, and I just, you know, lift him up as high as I can and plant him hard on that mat. So, you know, I'm just sitting here living my dream because, you know, I love wrestling. So this is about as close as I'm going to get to be a wrestler. So, you know, I'm going to take full advantage of this. So I plant my buddy pretty hard. And the big finale was everybody knows John Cena. So, so our candidate for that year dressed up as John Cena, like the boy candidate dressed up as John Cena. And so John Cena hit him with the 5-knuckle shuffle and won the title, and, you know, got to celebrate with our future homecoming queen, which as a sophomore that year, our candidate actually did win, which was very, you know, surprising because usually upperclassmen win. But that is generally my favorite memory from homecoming.
So your wrestling days on homecoming.
Yes, my wrestling days in homecoming.
All right, thank you. Another round of applause for Mr. Massey.
Don't worry, guys. He will be back. He will be back.
Yes,
All right.
if you didn't notice, Miss Crissy, she knows that we were going to call her up here, and as soon as Mr. Massey was getting wrapped up, quickly scurried off.
She left the room.
All
So,
right.
next question.
Yes, next question. I'll answer the one that we skipped over a while ago. Do y'all watch the Boondocks at home? If it is the animated Boondocks, I used to a long time ago, and I really did like that show. It was an interesting social commentary show. What about you, Mr. Norman?
I've never watched the show. I used to read the comic because I'm old.
Yes,
So
okay.
I actually
Well,
used to read the Boondocks comic in the newspaper, but I have not actually ever watched the show.
How old are you?
500,000.
Oh my God.
Yes, Mr. Norman is immortal.
All right. Can I?
And I'm actually 5.
I'm actually going to pull. I'm going to pull this out of the box. Right
Okay.
here. I'm going to pull this out of the box. Team Moth. Do we have any Team Moth in here? All right. So I just have to explain that for those of you who don't know what Team Moth is, the mastermind behind Team Moth is the gentleman sitting right there. You can raise your hand. There's the mastermind behind Team Moth. So every year in my American government class, they get a chance, you guys get a chance to pass bills that will become law. And last year, we actually passed one that changed the dress code, and that became part of the school dress code. So leggings, people, you're welcome. And this year, we had an interesting take. This Team Moth is actually, like I said, from the architect over there. It is a bill to make the Cecropia moth the New Madrid County bird. And right now, it is one class period vote away from being presented to our representatives at New Madrid County. So it's close. If you're Team Moth, get out and support the team. Yeah! If you have no idea what a Cecropia moth is, join the club. All right.
Okay, so we have a multiple step question. Number 1, what is your favorite thing about Porterville School District?
My favorite thing about Porterville School District, honestly, is the fact that now, I mean, how long have I been here? 5 years? 5 years. I'm old. Is just getting to be in a place where there is like legitimate school spirit. Like as we look at you guys, you're all wearing blue, and there's people that have done all kinds of crazy dress up stuff throughout the week. It is awesome to see this much school spirit, and the dog pound that we have here is incredible. So I love that you guys actually care about your school, and there's a bunch of people here who get out and support it as well. So good job, guys. Good job.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I concur, and I'm an alumni of Porterville, so that's my favorite thing about Porterville. It's home. Like I was one of you. I sat in this thing just like y'all did. So like you cannot find me in the composite. I will say you cannot find me in the composite because they said that our class was too ugly and had to take it down.
Yep.
But you can find us in the little flipboard thing. So, but yeah, I'm an alumni from here, so I'm happy to be home, and that's my most favorite thing about being at Porterville.
I will say one side note. You didn't sit here just like them because you didn't get to listen to a dope podcast. You know.
No, I didn't.
Just saying. Just. All right. So next question. Why is your face blue?
I'm choking and no one's helped me yet. No, my face is blue because of school spirit and whatnot. Actually, how I have my face painted right here, right now, I used to do before every single home basketball game. I actually did it at a couple baseball games too because they were like, hey, paint your face. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And yes, I would paint the entire face like this and do my lines as I did them. So that's why my face is blue.
And thanks to our mobile painters who came through the rooms and painted everyone's faces.
You take the last one.
Okay. So this last question is that they find it interesting, and they're asking us why this is. The principals are so close, like they are father and son. Do you have anything to say about your closeness? So podcast who didn't hear that, he said like grandfather and grandson. The reason he says that, of course, is because he's been around since he was our 16th president. President Lincoln, good to have you here. All right.
All right, I got the next suggestion. Cheese crackers. Cheese crackers. If you have not tried them, apparently they're tasty.
Yes, they are.
So you guys know I have a personal space thing. I like large gaps between me and any other human. This suggestion says hug each other.
No.
Next.
Maybe after we dance off, because right now we're about to have a dance battle, and so I can't hug my enemy. He's going down. Like, hugging him would give him a false sense of security, and that cannot happen. Hey.
We need hugs.
Yeah, that just happened.
I'm sorry, I couldn't see what you just did.
All right, so I have the next question. Principal Branscombe, can you do the toe touch? Let's look at it back there. Whoa, that was an impressive
that was amazing.
toe touch.
That was an incredible toe touch, Mr. Branscombe. All right, next question. We have flat Earth, question mark.
Yes. No.
The answer to that question is no. Also, is water wet?
Yes.
Yes. If you want to hear the full detail of that, you'll have to go way, way back to like our second podcast. We debated whether or not water was wet. Now, I just have to actually say, we just had a question, Coach Branscombe, for you. And the question was, can you do a toe touch?
Woo! There we go!
There you
Another
go.
one.
Oh, and a heel click. That was impressive. So,
All right.
next up.
Next question. Can't ask that one.
Hey, just real quick, anybody buy tickets for the Truck Smash?
Me.
You can go out to Ag Building, Mr. Angotti. We
So
interrupt
Truck
this program.
Smash.
We interrupt this program to
The
bring you
Truck
the Truck
Smash.
Smash. Truck Smashers, please go and smash a truck.
Bye, too dumb
Truck
like that.
Smash. All right.
Oh, is he still in here?
Oh, Officer Cooley. Oh, he's on the phone.
He's on the phone.
As soon as he's off the phone, we'll ask the question.
All right, we have a question for Officer Cooley as soon as he's off the
There
phone.
he is. There he is. Here you go, Mr.
All
Brown.
right, Mr. Cooley, we have your question. I mean, Officer Cooley, we have your question. We're not going to tell you who it's from.
But you're related to her.
I imagine.
Is your mustache a stick-on?
It is not a stick-on.
I think for Halloween I had a suggestion, and one of who's Smokey and the Bandit is, right? Everybody watch that movie?
No.
Y'all know Good Burger General?
Come on, it was Coach Bullock's favorite movie.
Yeah, it was.
Really?
Nope, they haven't seen it.
What's it called? Look it up. Smokey and the Bandit. Come on. Really? Oh my
No.
God.
Well,
Sorry.
none of them are eastbound and down,
They're
rolling
not
up and
eastbound
trucking.
Down, are they?
Nope.
Nope, none of them. So, I actually just have a quick question for you. This is your first official year after being voted in as our resource officer. Have you enjoyed the experience?
Yes, I have. Of course, this isn't the first time I've been a resource officer. Believe it or not, I've been a policeman for 21 years. Wow. I age well, don't I?
So, do we have, I'm just curious, did we have a question on the list?
No, we didn't, but I got one for him.
Okay.
All right. This was originally intended for Miss Prince, but we figured with the flavor saver that you have on your lip there that you would be an expert for this. What is the best tailgating food to eat at a homecoming?
Chicken wings.
Chicken wings. There we go.
I'm in. Okay, what flavor? Where? We're going classic buffalo. What you going?
All are great, right? Chicken wings? Fried? My favorite's fried chicken. But
Okay,
chicken
so
wings for tailgating, yeah.
all right.
Honey barbecue.
Honey barbecue.
There you go. There you go. We got a couple honey barbecue fans.
All right, so make sure as soon as you get out of school, hit up Gators, harass Gators, get all of the wings that they have, and show up at the school ready to chow down on some chicken wings. All right.
And look up Smokey and the Bandit.
And watch Smokey and the Bandit.
That's our second podcast guest to encourage that. All right.
We're going to have to do a review of Smokey and the Bandit,
We
aren't
do. We need to do a review of Smoking the Bandit. All right. Talk about our chances of winning tonight. We were going to call up a coach to answer this question, and we don't have a coach for this question in the room. So, I would say we actually have a legitimate chance of winning tonight. I'm big on our chances. We have a mutual beatdown with the other school. We both had fun beating up on Chaffee. So I think that we have a legitimate shot. I'm excited.
Well, if you really want to hear my professional analysis of the game, you can tune in on 1050 KMIS or 1037 KMIS on the FM dial to hear at around 6:50 to hear my analysis of that. But I'll give you a preview. I think we have a good shot. We did play a very talented Scott City team last week that did put a little bit of a licking on us, but I think we can bounce back, and it was their homecoming last week, so of course our homecoming this week, we're going to do the same thing to East Prairie, right guys? Yeah! There we go. Next question.
All right. The next question is one that I don't fully understand. It says, would you be interested in a slightly used 1992 PT Cruiser tire? No, actually, Angotti would probably be the one to ask about that. He could use tires for things. So whoever's trying to get rid of that tire, talk to Angotti.
All right, Mr. Norman, would you ever let Elias drive without his license?
No. But I figure we could do quickly. We have several questions. Oh, do you have the other question about?
Oh,
no. Okay. So there are several questions asking me about my child. How many kids do you want to have, Norman? I mean, I have hundreds every year, so I've got plenty. And I don't know where the other one went, so I guess that was the last question about Elias. All right, next question.
Next question. Yo, Norman, how do you feel about Doom? Happy Friday. Signed, nobody.
How do I feel about Doom? Happy Friday. That's a weird back-to-back. I feel like, how would you like your Doom? Happy Friday. I am not a gamer per se. I assume they're talking about the game Doom. I think. Okay, yes. I'm getting lots of head nods like I'm an idiot. Thank you. I don't know. I'm not a gamer. My experience in gaming you can hear more about on another podcast, but I'll just in brief say that my experience mostly involves SimCity and Civilization and very high-class games. And getting killed a lot in Call of Duty back when I was in college. I was the guy that always got knifed in the toe and died, which I've never understood.
And I was the guy knifing him. My opinion on Doom real quick, I prefer the old version of the game. I actually prefer Quake to Doom. And I do not like the the remastered version that they did. I'm not a fan of that. The movie's bad. And for my metalheads over there, I see y'all, there was the original death metal band was, of course, Doom. And they are right. So there you go. That's my opinion on Doom.
All right.
Y'all ever do Doom? Okay, yeah.
I have a question, and that is, can I visit your house? No. What about you?
Also, don't visit my house. My wife might shoot you.
It's, yeah, anyway, continue.
Oh, our missing guest that ran away.
There she
Miss
is.
Crissy.
There
Miss
she
Crissy,
is.
come on down.
Come on down, Miss
Crissy,
Crissy.
come on down. All right, while we wait for Miss Crissy to saunter on down, Norman, clutch or kick?
What?
Clutch or kick? I don't know the question either.
Do you guys know what this is? Okay, someone knows what this is.
And it's probably inappropriate. Oh well.
All right, I'm moving on.
Miss Crissy, come on. Come here.
Come on down.
You only have
Come on.
one question. We only have one question for you. All right, that's it. That's all. That's the only question we have. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in.
I'm here.
All right, you're here. Okay, wait. I can hear you now.
Okay, good.
We're making sure we can hear you on
Oh,
that.
this one,
Yeah.
okay.
So the question that we have for you is why? Why did you let us do these shenanigans?
Why did you allow this live show to happen?
Mother Nature. She came and
You're saying we're a force of nature?
rained. No. Well, I tried to make plans for today, full of games and whatnot, but it was like, I don't know, they just kept saying we don't know if we're going to have the parade or not. And I was like, I don't know, I should put all this work into making a parade lineup, which takes an hour or so, or planning other activities for today.
And so you just said, hey, Mr. Dorman, Mr.
So I did a
Davidson.
little bit of both. And then this morning I said, they've got a gig, they can put on a show. Right?
Yeah.
Was it a good idea or a bad idea?
So the audience has spoken. I have another question for you if you want to answer. This was for Miss Priggle, actually, originally. How has homecoming changed over the years in your experience?
Like from when I was in high school,
Yeah.
we didn't do anything this cool.
You mean
No.
as cool as us, right?
Right. I mean, no dodgeball tournament that I can remember. I mean, that was 20-something years ago. No dodgeball tournament. I mean, we had everybody running around making posters, but that was it. The only competition was floats, and, well, it's Spirit Week and then Spirit Stick. But the dodgeball and these other relay games, this whole day off, we did not have any of that. The parade was the same. Coronation was the same at night. So it hadn't changed a whole lot.
All right. Thank you. That's all we have.
Thank you very
So
much.
everybody, a round of applause to Miss Crissy.
Also,
I have an announcement.
okay.
Senior football boys in here. How many are in here? Senior football.
And the answer is no.
Then where are they? Because they're not in the gym either.
Oh, we got a mystery on our hands.
Oh, they're out on the truck. Okay.
All right. That answers that question. Thank you very much. All right.
So, if you would like to hear more, by the way, of Miss Crissy explaining things on our podcast, we have an entire podcast about Miss Crissy in which you can learn about her many hats. It's a great podcast, like legit. You'll learn.
Yes, it is a really good podcast. All right.
Yeah, you should see my hat racket, huh?
All right, Mr. Norman, we're almost done. We're at the final death throes of this podcast.
Final countdown. All right. So, do we want to open the mic for like 3 questions, or do we want to?
All right, we could try it.
All right.
2:15. We are almost done.
Yeah,
actually.
we are about to wrap it up. I am going to, because of time, I'm going to allow 3 open mic questions. 3 open mic questions. And we will start. So if you want to ask a question, you got to have your hand raised. We're going to start. Yes, I can't say your name, but what is your question?
We'll call her the Peggotty one. Peggotty one, come down to ask the question. That way everybody can hear it.
What's your favorite meme that has come out of the Scholar Bowl classroom?
What's our favorite meme that's come out of the Scholar Bowl classroom?
All right.
I do not know. So, Mr. Norman?
There are lots of memes. Honestly, the most recent one that I was impressed with is one that I'll have to share with you so we can put it on this, the image on here. But it said, what's with all these female remakes?
Oh no!
And it showed the Ghostbusters, before and after, and there was another one. Oh, Ocean's 11 before and after, and then it showed our, the two males who are on the team were raising their hand in angst, but it showed our beta build team before, which was all guys, and after in our national team, because we had 3 people drop out and they were all girls that filled the spots. So thank you ladies for filling in for that. All right, next question. You get to pick the next person. I'm deferring.
All right, who should I pick? I am scared of all 6 of you. We'll go with Taylor.
Oh no, we dropped
I
her
said
name.
her name. So we can't.
That
do
was
her.
a pseudonym.
Yeah, we can't do her now. Instead, we're going to do Becky. Come on down, Becky.
Okay, I have 2 questions.
Nope, you get one.
Oh, fine. Norman, have you listened to any other K-pop besides Gangnam Style?
We did a whole podcast on this.
Yeah, but still.
Listen to the podcast. I answered the question.
In his defense, there is one particular video that I watched whenever I did my K-pop review, and it was extremely weird, and it was like one of the weirdest.
It was terrifying.
It was terrifying. It was one of the weirdest, most bizarre. It's the one where the guys are pretending to be dolls.
They're like
and
little
dancing and
tiny.
singing to the little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, just right. I showed him that one.
And I said, I'm done.
Yes.
And we moved on.
And I do need to show you Twice Likey. Likey by Twice is really good.
Okay.
Because I likey.
They just came out with
Oh no.
Twice.
All right.
Nice.
Oh gosh. All right. You two, rock, paper, scissors.
What's your question?
All right, what is your question?
What's your opinion on coming back to your classroom with a photo on your board every day?
So this is a question from the individual who I cannot name. He has been supplying my room and actually the entire school with memes for about a month. I enjoy it. I mean, they've been appropriate. My personal favorite was the bean donut. Bean donut quality. I have no idea what it is, but he's about to show you the bean donut.
We're not going to put that in the podcast. We do have. I'm going to take one more question because it actually was a pretty good one. Sir, with the donuts, please come forward and tell us what your request was.
Do the Krispy Kreme donut dab.
Oh gosh.
So the Krispy Kreme donut dab. So you're going to be doing the dabbing. I'll be holding the donut.
All right.
So,
All right, here we go.
Are we ready?
3, 2, 1. There you go.
There we go. All right. So
We are going to wrap it up.
Yes. So until next time, my name's been Paul Davidson.
My name is and will be Scott Norman.
And we've been
the TWG, TDW, whatever the heck we are.